Hello y'all and welcome to my new DVD and Blu-ray update. Um, Now I've got quite a few items to get through here. Again, this is really a second part, and probably there's going to be a third part to my last Blu-ray and DVD and Blu-ray update earlier in the month. I just haven't had the time to get around to it, but today found the time. Going to get this out there. But, these are older films that I've had from probably the end of February and the beginning of March. Um, but I'm going to get through about half of it right now of what I have to show. So with that said, let me get to it. First up is the Blu-ray special edition of Inception. Everybody's seen this. Everybody knows what it is. I'm not going to go through and open it. It's the German edition Blu-ray Steelbook. Excellent film. What's left to be said about it? Finally got my hands on one of those. Next up are four DVDs. First up is Crimson Rivers. Now I need to thank Scottish Film Fan for showing this in one of his updates because I've had the sequel for maybe 2 years now, and I've never remembered to go back and get back to, the original to the series. So I want to thank Alex for that. Next up is Gabriel, starring Spartacus, Blood and Sands, Andy Whitfield. Unfortunately, he had to leave the show due to health reasons. This is the story of Gabriel, the seventh archangel, who comes down to Earth to battle another fallen angel, Samuel. Haven't seen this one. I need to thank Scottish Film Fan again for showing that on his site. Next is Attila. It's just another telling of Attila the Hun. Gerard Butler, Powers Booth. It's just looks like one of those epic films that I enjoy. And if anybody's seen that, let me know. I've never seen that, talked about on any updates. Next up is 1612. This is a story of a murdered Tsar of Russia and how they attacked Poland for the Battle of Moscow. Never seen this. It's in Russian, but it was a suggestion, a recommendation rather, at Amazon, and so I checked it out, and I thought I'd give it a chance. So if anybody's seen this, please comment down below as usual. I'm really interested in this one, just, as usual, haven't had the time to get around to watching it. Now the rest of these are going to be Blu-rays. First up is the Blue Book of All the President's Men. And I know I'm going to get flack for this. Sorry, Robert, now. But I've never seen this film. I've had so many opportunities to catch it on cable, but I thought, well, hey, let's watch it in high definition for the first time. Next up is one of Ghost House Underground's recent offerings. It's Stag Night. Now, I did get a chance to see this. It stars Breckenmeyer of Clueless fame and the Garfield movies. Great film. This one really captivated me. It's a story about four guy friends. They're out on the town for a bachelor party. They get caught up with these two strippers from the club they were at, and they're all partying. They get the last train, and they run into some trouble. I don't want to ruin it for anybody, so no spoiler alerts here. But this one is really one of the better films. I can recommend that one. Another is a thriller, horror, starring Carl Urban and Amber Heard. I haven't seen this one. I really haven't seen this one talked about on any updates. That's In Soon the Darkness. So if anybody's seen this, please let me know. That one's really been calling to me lately, but I just haven't had the time. Next up is A Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Didn't really enjoy this one all that much. I mean, it wasn't god-awful, but the backstory was just too involved, and it really dragged out the film for me. And I'm sorry, but it's just not Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger. Still, this came with an alternate ending, and I'm hoping that that may have some redeeming quality of the film for me. Next up, I got the Blue Book, just a classic, All About Eve. One of Bette Davis's top films, if not her top film. She's over the top playing a stage actress, Margot Channing, with a cameo by, a not so well known Marilyn Monroe at the time. I'm a big George Sanders fan. He's in the film. He's got a great role. This is just a must for any classic collection. And, this is really Bette Davis in her top form here. And really, I'm just so glad to see that, the studios are pulling the classics out of their archives and giving them the high-definition treatment. Yeah, so I'm really excited to see that one and see how the transfer was. Next, one I haven't seen, a romantic comedy, Letters to Juliet. Next is Conviction, starring Hilary Swank and Sam Rockwell. Now, I haven't seen this one, but I did catch a trailer on YouTube for it, and it really looked interesting, but in a way, it looked like a Lifetime movie of the week. So I'm really hoping I'm proven wrong on that. And if anybody's seen this and, can tell me just the opposite, and I hope you can, leave me a comment down below. Next up is a guilty pleasure, Just Right, Queen Latifah. She's just one of my guilty pleasure actresses. I love her. I haven't had a chance to see this yet, so if anybody's seen it, again, let me know how it is. I don't think it fared very well at the box office, or at least it didn't here. But I loved her in Taxi and Beauty Shop, and I enjoyed watching Living Single, so, I'm going to love anything she does. Next up is Unstoppable, Tony Scott film, Denzel Washington, Chris Pine, about a runaway train. Just a great film. I had a chance to catch this, and it just had me captivated from beginning to end. It's one of those movies you start and before you know it, it's over because you're just so enthralled. Just action nonstop, great stuff. I really highly recommend that one. Next up is the 15th anniversary edition of Chaplin, starring Robert Downey Jr. Great film. I'm just glad to see that on Blu-ray. Again, another film, Poltergeist 2. This is one of those Best Buy exclusives. They're cheap right now, I believe like $9.99. This is 1 and 2 of this are great. The third one's just really not one of my favorite ones from the series, so it's worth a pickup. And I gotta thank Scottish Film Fan again for recommending The Proposition. Now, I haven't had a chance to see it, but I believe it's a funny story at the same time. I was able to recommend Red Hill, starring Ryan Quanten from the True Blood Showtime series. That's another Australian, Western type thriller feature, and I recommend that to all of y'all. So if you haven't seen Red Hill, check it out. Another Ghost House Underground offering, Psych 9. Skip it. That's all I can say. I was barely hanging on just to finish the film. It's something that's been done over and over about a girl working by herself on the late shift in the hospital. It just didn't. It stars Carrie Elway from Saw and The Princess Bride, but I mean, he couldn't even save the film, so I'd have to say skip it. Next up is just an immortal animated classic from when I believe I was just barely a preteen, The Last Unicorn. I believe I saw this in the theater. Loved it. Just a classic story, and just great music by America in this. And I was just really, I couldn't believe when I saw that it was announced it was getting the HD Blu-ray treatment. Next up is Due Date. Now, I was able to catch this in the theater. This dog right here stole every scene he was in. It stars Robert Downey Jr., Zach Galifianakis. Pretty good, like I said, but highly improbable, especially the ends. The scenes at the end in Mexico, just really over the top. But all in all, a good film. Next up is Dirty Harry classic, signature film from Clint Eastwood. This man never disappoints me. Just great films, and lately I've just been watching a lot of his stuff. Sorry for moving around so much. But just great film. This, I mean, nobody else could play Dirty Harry but Clint Eastwood. Next, Michael Douglas in the Blu-ray Blue Book for Falling Down. Excellent film. You know, probably one of Douglas's best, if not. Just high drama here, tension, and bits of comedy throughout. Robert Duvall, Michael Douglas, Barbara Hershey. Just a great film. I recommend that. Okay. I am a glutton for punishment, but I do like my horror, and I really have a lot of hope for this one. And that's 30 Days of Night, Dark Days. It doesn't even compare to the original, and it's so shoddy. I'd have to say skip it. It was just horrible. It was a mess. But Chain Letter, on the other hand, I didn't hold out much hope for this one. Great film. You know what? I really, for a little sleeper film like this, it had some really ingenious ways of, killing somebody. And, it was entertaining from beginning to end. I recommend this to everybody. I believe Scottish Film Fan recently showed this on, or somebody talked about it, if not Alex. I know I recommended it to him. But catch this if you can, Chain Letter. That's a really good one. And next, and it's the last one for this update, Jonah Hex. Now, I've heard nothing but bad things about it, but I want to be the judge and see for myself. Like I said, I'm a glutton for punishment. But it's usually Megan Fox is like the kiss of death in any film these days. But Josh Brolin, and I'm a big John Malkovich fan, so I'm really hoping that there's his part in it is going to redeem this film in some way. And that's all I have for this update. I mean, I do have more, but I don't want to make this a 15-minute one. Again, thank you to all my subscribers, old and new. I appreciate you tuning in, checking out the videos. I've had a lot more time to check y'all's videos out. I like what I'm seeing, and y'all, I appreciate your comments. Keep leaving your comments, suggestions. I'm always open to film suggestions. So, I'll probably do another update maybe in 2, maybe 3 weeks. I'm not sure, because I'm going to have a crap load of stuff by that time as well. So y'all take care, and until next time, see you later.